Shit tests and frame. People will test you in business, relationships, friendships, and even within family dynamics. Shit tests are commonly used to assess your confidence, emotional control, and overall frame. Through these tests, others subconsciously gauge where you stand within the social hierarchy and how much respect or leverage they can expect when interacting with you. Shit tests are used to assess a man's frame. Frame refers to composure, emotional control, and the ability to remain grounded under pressure. A useful way to visualize frame is to imagine yourself as a painting displayed in a gallery. The painting is held upright and presentable by its frame. Remove the frame, and the canvas bends, collapses, and falls to the floor. Without structure, the image loses its shape and integrity. Psychologically, this is what happens when a man loses frame. Folding under pressure symbolically represents losing control and giving up. The term mirrors poker, where folding means surrendering the hand rather than staying in the game. When faced with a shit test, maintaining composure is the primary objective. If you remain calm, appear unfazed, or calmly assert your boundaries, the test is generally considered passed. Your behavior signals confidence, emotional stability, and self-respect. Conversely, if you become upset, defensive, offended, insecure, or visibly shaken, the test is considered failed. Any obvious display of weakness, self-doubt, or emotional loss of control communicates a lack of frame. The conclusion is straightforward. Passing shit tests increases perceived social value. Failing shit tests decreases perceived social value. Men who consistently pass these tests tend to gain respect, social acceptance, and influence. Those who repeatedly fail them risk becoming marginalized, insecure, and socially disregarded. Passing shit tests. There are multiple methods that can be used to pass a shit test. Passing a shit test means responding in a way that either neutralizes the challenge or causes the other person to perceive you as confident, grounded, and socially competent. Before outlining specific methods, an important clarification is necessary on agree and amplify. Agree and amplify is often treated as the default response to shit tests. It is effective for humor and light teasing, but it is context-dependent. Used improperly, especially in tense or confrontational situations, it can escalate rather than diffuse conflict. Not all shit test responses are interchangeable. The correct approach depends on context, the emotional state of the other person, power dynamics, the potential for escalation. Common sense and calibration matter more than memorizing lines. Example, scenario. You approach a woman and open a conversation. She responds with, "I bet you use that line on all the girls." This is a classic shit test. Below are several valid ways to respond. Agree and amplify. Agree and amplify relies on exaggeration to make the accusation absurd. The goal is to signal that you are unbothered and playful. Example, yes, it's so effective it should come with a warning label. Disagree and amplify. This method rejects the premise while still exaggerating for humor. Example, no, you're actually the first person I've ever spoken to. Pressure flip. A pressure flip redirects the social pressure back onto the person testing you. Example, you sound like someone who assumes everyone has an agenda. Agree and pressure flip. You briefly agree before reversing the pressure. Example, yeah, I do. You look like you've heard that before. Disagree and pressure flip. You reject the premise and apply pressure simultaneously. Example, no, if I had a script, you wouldn't be getting this version. Ignore. Ignoring a shit test means offering no acknowledgement at all. This can be effective once your position or social value is already established. Early on, it can come across as awkward or dismissive. Ignoring implies that the comment was not important enough to warrant a response. This method is best used on people with lower social leverage, when the test itself is trivial, when maintaining indifference is advantageous. Misdirect. Misdirection involves changing the topic entirely, invalidating the test by refusing to engage with it. Example, by the way, how long have you been waiting here? This works best on people who are easily distracted. There is a chance of being retested, so it should be used selectively. Ridicule reframe. This is an aggressive method used to knock highly ego-driven individuals off a pedestal. It is not appropriate for timid or highly sensitive people and is better suited for banter among confident personalities. This style requires strong calibration. When used incorrectly, it can shut down attraction rather than build it. Pseudo-gaslight. Pseudo-gaslighting involves acting as though the test makes no sense and subtly implying that the tester is inventing meaning. Example: what line are you talking about? This method works by refusing the premise entirely without emotional investment. Key takeaway: there is no universal response that works in every situation. Passing shit tests requires emotional control, context awareness, the ability to remain relaxed under scrutiny. Mastery comes from understanding why a response works, not memorizing what to say. One common shit test is when a girl asks how many women you've slept with. Never give her a direct number. Instead, respond with something light and funny like 0, I'm a virgin, and move the conversation forward.